Acts chapter 10. Now there was a certain man at Caesarea named Cornelius, a centurion of what was called the Italian cohort, a devout man, and fearing God with all his household, also giving much alms to the people, and prayed to God always. About the 9th hour of the day, he saw in a vision clearly a messenger of God coming to him and saying to him, Cornelius. And looking intently on him and becoming afraid, he said, What is it, Lord? And he said to him, Your prayers and your alms have gone up for a memorial before God. And now send to Joppa and send for Simon, who is called Peter. He lodges with one Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the sea. And when the messenger who spoke to Cornelius departed, calling 2 of his household servants and a devout soldier of those continually waiting on him, and after explaining everything to them, he sent them to Joppa. And the next day, as they were journeying and drawing near to the city, Peter went up on the housetop to pray around the 6th hour. And he became very hungry and wanted to eat. But while they were making ready, a trance fell upon him, and he saw heaven opened and an object descending upon him like a great sheet, bound at the 4 corners and let down to the earth, in which were all the 4-footed animals of the earth, and the wild beasts, and the creeping things, and the birds of the air. And a voice came to him, Arise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, By no means, Lord, for I have never eaten anything common or unclean. And a voice came again to him a second time, What God has cleansed you must not regard as common. And this happened 3 times, and again the object was taken up into heaven. Now while Peter was thoroughly perplexed within himself about what the vision he saw might be, behold, the men who had been sent from Cornelius, after inquiring for Simon's house, stood at the gate. And after calling out, they were asking if Simon, who is called Peter, lodged there. And Peter, while thinking over the vision, the Spirit said to him, Behold, men are seeking you. But arise, go down and go with them, doubting nothing, because I myself have sent them. And after going down to the men, Peter said, Behold, I am whom you seek. For what reason have you come? And they said, Cornelius, a centurion, a righteous and God-fearing man, and well testified to by all the nation of the Jews, was divinely instructed by a holy messenger to summon you to his house and to hear a message from you. Therefore, after inviting them in, he lodged them. And on the next day, Peter went away with them, and some of the brothers from Joppa went with him. And the following day they entered Caesarea. And Cornelius was waiting for them, having called together his relatives and close friends. And as Peter was entering, Cornelius met him, falling at his feet, and worshipped him. But Peter raised him up, saying, Stand up, I am also a man myself. And talking with him, he went in and found many gathered together. And he said to them, You yourselves know how prohibited it is for a Jewish man to join himself to or visit a foreigner. But God has shown me to call no man common or unclean. On this account also I came without objection after I was sent for. I asked therefore, What reason did you send for me? And Cornelius said, 4 days ago, to this hour, I was fasting, and at the 9th hour I was praying in my house, and behold, a man stood before me in bright clothing, and said, Cornelius, your prayer has been heard, and your alms have been remembered before God. Therefore send to Joppa and call for Simon, who is called Peter. He lodges in the house of Simon, a tanner, by the sea. After he comes, he will speak to you. So I sent for you immediately, and having come, you have done well. Now therefore we are all present before God to hear all things that have been ordered to you by God. And opening his mouth, Peter said, Of a truth, I perceive that God is not a respecter of persons, but in every nation the one fearing him and working righteousness is acceptable to him. the word that he sent to the sons of Israel, proclaiming the good news of peace through Jesus Christ. He is the Lord of all. You yourselves have known the word which came throughout the whole of Judea, beginning from Galilee after the immersion which John proclaimed, how God anointed Jesus, who was from Nazareth, with the Holy Spirit and power, who went about doing good and healing all those oppressed by the devil, because God was with him. And we are witnesses of all things that he did, both in the country of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they also put to death by hanging him on a tree. This one God raised up the third day and granted that he be revealed, not to all the people, but to witnesses having been chosen before God, to us, who ate with and drank with him after he arose from the dead. And he commanded us to proclaim to the people and solemnly testify that it is he who has been appointed by God as judge of the living and the dead. To him all the prophets bear witness that everyone who believes in him receives forgiveness of sins through his name. While Peter was still speaking these words, the Holy Spirit fell upon all those hearing the word. And those of the circumcision who believed, as many as came with Peter, were astonished, because the gift of the Holy Spirit had been poured out also upon the Gentiles, for they were hearing them speaking in languages and magnifying God. Then Peter answered, "Can anyone forbid the water that these should not be immersed, who have received the Holy Spirit as also we have?" And he commanded them to be immersed in the name of the Lord. Then they asked him to remain for a few days.